You may think that the biggest Naruto rivalry was Naruto vs Sasuke or Hashirama vs Madara, but all of these pale in comparison to the battle between Takara Tomy and Bandai Namco. You see, back then there were two companies who held the Naruto license, and each one of them was publishing their own series of Naruto games, until one of them simply could not compete anymore. I'm talking about the Clash of Ninja series and the Ultimate Ninja series. Now, we know who won the battle nowadays. I mean, one of those companies still holds the Naruto license and the other one doesn't, and you can't really find any mention of the Clash of Ninja series on PSN nowadays. But was this a fair fight? Did the best game series win? That's what we're here to find out. Welcome to the Ranking of Naruto Games! Brought to you by Ridge. Because if we're building a tier list of the best and worst Naruto games, we gotta have a sponsor who is the top tier of wallets. Ridge helps you carry what you need to every day, from streamlining how you carry cash and cards in their flagship Ridge wallets to their portable, chargeable commuter backpack. They want to make the most of what you're bringing with you. For less than half the size of a regular wallet, you can carry everything you need to on your day-to-day, without this wallet taking as much pocket space. Get rid of that. If you were ever curious about a Ridge wallet, Ridge has made it 100% risk-free to buy one. Shipping is free worldwide, so the only thing you're paying for is the actual wallet. If you're afraid you won't like it, you can return it for free, they'll send you the money back. And if you do like it, this is the last wallet you'll ever need. It's made from military-grade materials like titanium or carbon fiber. It comes with a lifetime guarantee because it will never break. So if you've ever thought, this is too different from what I'm used to, I don't know if I'll like it, just try it out. If you don't like it, you return it. There's absolutely no risk in trying it out, and you can get a 10% discount if you type code Globku10 at checkout. After that, the only reason to buy a new wallet is if you're feeling like changing up your style, getting another design from the many they have available at the store. Thank you, Ridge, for sponsoring the Ranking of Naruto Games! This is the show where I play and rank every single Naruto game in history, and today we're starting with the first Clash of Ninja game on GameCube and the first Ultimate Ninja game on PlayStation 2. These were the first Naruto games to come out here in the West. They released only 3 months apart from each other, and before these games came to the West, Naruto was a Japan only thing, and a lot of those Japanese games never came over to the West. They were never translated, and those will not be in the Ranking of Naruto Games. I cannot fairly judge a game I cannot understand. You want me to play a 20-hour RPG where I can't even read the text? Not happening. And hey, if you guys want more episodes of this, make sure to click that like button and leave a comment on which game you want me to tackle next. I have no idea if this show will work on this channel, so if you want to see more episodes, make sure to click the like, leave a comment, let's help this video do well, and let's jump into Clash of Ninja. When I got my hands on Clash of Ninja last week, I was so impressed at how well it holds up as a fighting game. Controls are simple, which falls perfectly in line with what a lot of fighting games are trying to do nowadays. And at the same time, I could feel there was something to it, some depth waiting to be discovered. You mash a button, a combo comes out, and you discover that your directional buttons change the combo that you're mashing. Some throw your opponent across the stage, others are launchers. And it seemed like you could juggle opponents for some really devastating combos, and turns out, yeah, you totally can juggle in this game. And these combos can even be situational depending on how close you are to the corner. This game has depth, and I could totally see myself hosting a Naruto Clash of Ninja tournament in this year of 2020. That's how much fun I had playing this game. Because on top of the base mechanics, the different characters actually feel relatively unique. I mean, everyone can mash out a combo, they're all very easy to pick up, but the combo routes have different properties. Everyone has different jutsu, everyone has different jabbing and even movement speeds. Zabuza, for instance, he hits like a truck, but he is super slow, so you need to play him as sort of a counter-attack character. Naruto is a good, well-rounded character with great juggling combos and a move that just teleports you to your opponent, and Sasuke is completely useless. However, you could argue that Clash of Ninja is more of a fighting game with Naruto characters than a good adaptation of the Naruto series. You can see many elements of Naruto in this game. You can use your meter for substitution jutsu, taking you out of a combo. You can also see some of your favorite jutsu, but this isn't really how Naruto characters fight in the show. They're not strafing left and right, they're not playing footsies. In the show, they're jumping around, running up trees, throwing shuriken and jutsu, and taking breaks to tell their deep and sad backstories. Though at the same time, with the success of Dragon Ball FighterZ, there has been a shift in the community. I mean, Dragon Ball characters don't fight on the ground for most of the time, and you can't freely fly or even transform in FighterZ. You have a super dash button and your combos can stay in the air for a really long time, but unless you're Zamasu, you can't really control your flight, and unless you're Frieza, you can't even transform. And even then, it's only for a short period of time. Has that made Dragon Ball Ball FighterZ a bad game? No. Even though it's a fighting game first and a Dragon Ball game second, it is still one of the best Dragon Ball games of all time. In my opinion, the best Dragon Ball game of all time. But back in 2006, the mindset was different, and this simply didn't feel like Naruto. Nowadays though, I'd love to see a new version of this. Why are we remastering the Storm series? Bring me a Clash of Ninja collection. Alright, Takara Tomy lost the Naruto battle. Bandai Namco has the license now. Well, to be fair, this first Clash of Ninja game wasn't without its flaws. I mean, first of all, if you have a full meter, you can throw your ultimate attack, and this is completely unblockable. You can try and dodge it, but that doesn't always work, and you simply couldn't block. Half of your health bar is gone, just like that, from an unblockable attack. Is this the new Guilty Gear? You also had some weird interactions with hitboxes and hurtboxes feeling very wonky. Sidestepping attacks only works sometimes. Opponents can hit you even though you're behind them. And then when you're Rock Lee, all of these problems are multiplied because this character is broken as f. You used half of your meter to sub out of a combo, guess what? Rock Lee doesn't care. You thought your block string was safe? Welcome to the fastest jab in the game. Half screen corner carries with juggling opportunities every single combo? Yeah, this character would be banned from any tournament. But that's just it. All the problems that this game has with the fighting system could be fixed nowadays with a balance patch. Fix hitboxes, change frame data, change some characters slightly. They are balance changes because the game, the base game, is actually very solid. There was, however, a bigger problem that a simple balance patch can fix, and that's content. This game's biggest problem is that there wasn't enough of it. If you're playing multiplayer with a friend, you can get some mileage out of it, but even then, the roster is super small with only 8 characters, and one of them is banned. There's an arcade mode where you fight against the entire roster. First of all, it's a fighting game. Fighting against the CPU is never that much fun, but okay. Once you defeat the entire roster, you unlock a character bio and you can zoom in on the character model. Hooray! And story mode is super short. It goes from the moment Naruto graduates to Genin until after the Zabuza arc, where you meet Rock Lee right before the Chunin exam and you fight him, and the story ends with this amazing piece of music. It's like I'm watching an AMV from the 90s. They changed some events in this story mode because you play the whole thing as Naruto, which if you ask me is a wasted opportunity to make you try out the rest of the cast. But since you play as Naruto and you have to win some fights in this very limited segment of the story, you have Sasuke, for instance, wanting to fight Naruto right before the Kakashi exam. And Sasuke actually loses that fight. It's wild. And the whole thing is actually voice acted, though the voice acting kind of sounds like this.
I shall be 100% shinobi.
You are Naruto Uzumaki.
Mwah! Top tier voice acting, I know. I mean, this game actually has custom intros for specific character matchups, but since Rock Lee's appearance is so small in this game, his whole personality is that he wants to fight Sasuke. But then, when he finally fights against Sasuke, this is all he has to say.
Please.
This game's roster is already too small, but Rock Lee's addition was a mistake. If you play this game for like an hour, you'll get everything you can out of it. Except, if you have a friend, you can get a bit more since the basics are really solid. Then again, the small roster also takes away from its longevity. That said, I can't wait to see where the series goes from here, and with all of that, we're gonna rank this game a D. Mostly because it needed more content. But since it was the first game we ranked, it is now the best Naruto game of all time, and also the worst Naruto game of all time. Let's see how Ultimate Ninja compares to it in the ranking of Naruto games. Previously, in the ranking of Naruto games, Clash of Ninja was a solid fighting game. And we literally just talked about this. Let's move on to Ultimate Ninja. 3 months later, Ultimate Ninja comes out in the US, and my god, this is one of my most played series from back when I was a kid. Not the first Ultimate Ninja specifically, I spent a lot of time with 3 and 4, I think. But I have a lot of nostalgia for this series. Coming back to it as an adult now, I can see this was totally inspired by Smash Bros, right? The focus isn't as much on the fighting, but on platforming. There are a ton of items, and grabbing those items is a big part of the game. It definitely feels a lot more like a party game rather than a fighting game, because as we all know, Smash isn't a fighting game. I'm joking, okay, chill. Yeah, the fighting in this one definitely isn't as good, and it was very surprising to me given how much I played this in the past, and how much I thought I loved these games. Maybe they didn't age well, or maybe my stupid child brain didn't know what a good game was back then. Probably my stupid child brain. My god, playing this is so painful, nothing makes sense, everything is mashy. mashing. You mash on wake up and it works. You have a minigame mid-combo where it's basically who mashes the hardest wins. You can do block strings into grabs without the opponent being able to do anything. Frame data? What's that? Character balance? What's that? We just do stuff because we thought it'd be cool. And there's some credit to this way of thinking, but god, it is infuriating to play this thing multiplayer. Plus, when you do an ultimate, there are usually 2 or 3 animated parts to that ultimate. And during this time, you play this minigame of pressing the right buttons. You spend a lot of time not fighting because of this minigame. But I can totally see why Ultimate Ninja was the most popular of the two. You know, aside from the obvious, the game was on PS2, which is way more popular than the GameCube. Ultimate Ninja had so much more fan service and so much more content than Clash of Ninja. Cinematic ults, more characters, a story mode that can be played from the perspective of each character, and you play these to unlock all the characters in the game, giving you a sense of progression. Now, at the end of each story, the music isn't nearly as epic as Clash of Ninja, but what is? At the end of the credits though, there is a secret message for each character, like, do you have what it takes to conquer the tale of the Shachihoko? I think they meant the Shukaku. You got unlockable figures, music, voice lines. Man, they really had loot boxes back in 2006, huh? And you also have a mission mode full of missions where you start at the Ninja Academy, and as you rank up, you can tackle D rank missions, C rank missions, etc. I mean, the missions are all just fighting with some interesting conditions occasionally. Sometimes you gotta finish the fight with a certain item in your pocket. Sometimes you gotta finish the fight with an ultimate attack, but it's all still the same fighting system. It doesn't really change. It's so repetitive. And you actually have to beat most of the missions to unlock QB Naruto and Cursed Mark Sasuke. And this is top tier weird. Let me explain why. Both Clash of Ninja and Ultimate Ninja originally came out in Japan back in 2003. 3 years later, the games made their way to the US. In the original Japanese version, both Naruto and Sasuke can transform into their powered up versions by doing a level 3 ultimate. In the West, however, Bandai Namco decided that they would be separate characters, thus removing the transformation from the base characters and making us play through this painful mission mode to unlock 2 extremely broken characters. I mean, at least previously, you had to land the ultimate to power up the character. Now you can just select them from the menu? Why? I don't know, so they could say they had more characters? I mean, if you look at these two games side by side, they're both trying to accomplish the same thing. They're both trying to please the Naruto audience with an action fighting game. But on one hand, you have a focus on the fighting system itself, albeit a rushed attempt at this, lacking a lot of content. And on the other, you have a terribly broken fighting system, but with 12 characters total. Yes, I'm not counting the powered up Naruto and Sasuke, you're not fooling me. And also a lot of single player content, cinematic ultimates, all the fan service you could want from a Naruto game in 2006. These two games are like complete polar opposites because the content of Ultimate Ninja was exactly what Clash needed, and the solid foundations of a fighting game were exactly what Ultimate needed. And unfortunately, as an adult replaying Ultimate Ninja now, all of that content just isn't worth it if the base game isn't fun, because ultimately you're just replaying the same bad combat system. I don't know if the series got a lot better in future entries, or if I just had a dumb brain that thought this was actually good, but time will tell if this show keeps going. For now, we're gonna put Ultimate Ninja on rank E, making it the worst Naruto game of all time, at least so far. And there you have it, folks, the first episode of the Ranking of Naruto Games. And maybe the last one as well. Please leave me a like, because it does help make the video perform better. And despite the low ranks I gave these games, going back and just remembering how it used to be, it was a lot of fun. And Naruto has had a lot of weird experiments in the past that I really can't wait to share with you. This episode was sponsored by Ridge. Go get your wallet at a 10% discount. Link in the description down below. And leave me a comment. Let me know which game you'd like me to tackle next. And thank you guys very much for watching. My name is Globku, and I'll see you next time. Bye.